The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shaylin Herrick. I'm the Director of Marketing here at SOS Online Backup. So we'll wait a few more minutes to see if everybody can get on the line. We do have a few people that we're still waiting for. Please do let me know, for those of you that are on the line, if you can hear me and see my screen. Then I'll know everything's working correctly. And I do hear a little bit of an echo in the background, so if there is anyone else in particular within SOS, please mute your line. Okay, everybody, we are going to go ahead and get going. I didn't get any audio-video confirmation from anyone, so if anyone on the line could please let me know, type in the questions tool that you can hear me and see my screen. I'd love to know for sure that everything is working correctly. So I'll go ahead and get going. Okay, Dave says he can hear and see. Great. Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. So this presentation is going to take us through an industry overview of online backup and where it's headed. So what's the opportunity in selling online backup? We'll review the SOS 360-degree partner program, so everything that you get within the program as a reseller partner. SOS ServerSafe features and benefits. This is our flagship product that is really going to allow you to sell to SMBs and back up entire businesses, which is very key for your business as well as ours. We'll review data center locations and some basic infrastructure facts. We'll look at how to start your online backup business. So what are the 3 basic steps you need to take in order to launch your business? We'll look at pricing, and then Derek, our partner product manager, will do a product tour for you. Say hi, Derek.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming on board.
So when you come on board in the SOS 360-degree partner program, you'll get to know Derek very, very well. He will be your best friend. So let's talk about the industry. SOS Online Backup has been around really since 2001, and it moved to the United States in 2006. We presently have over 500,000 active customers and close to 1,000 active value-added reseller partners like yourselves. We have a great deal of opportunity for our company as well as your businesses. So why are we all in online backup? Why do we care? We care because it's becoming easier for customers to use online backup. There's been a great deal of expansion of internet bandwidth across the world, particularly in North America. North America has greatly benefited from great broadband connections and cost-effective broadband connections. In places like Australia, Australia is currently experiencing expansion of something called the NBN, the National Broadband Network. This is a great example of something that is infrastructure related that will then enable a market to grow. We've also experienced a decrease in hosted storage costs. So putting stuff into the cloud is now cheaper and faster than it ever has been. The technical sophistication of the population has improved. People know what cloud backup is. People know what the cloud is. They know that it's a bunch of servers off somewhere that may or may not be secure, but we're here to tell them that the solution that you and I offer is very secure. And we have increased the size and value of the digital data that we create. We're creating digital data right now. We're recording this webinar. We want to make sure that it's safe, we want to make sure that we can get it back later because it's an hour of our work. We're employees of a company, and other employees need to protect their data as well. It's definitely a management duty to protect employee-created data. So how do we make a cost-effective switch from tape backup? How many of you on the line are currently using tape backup or have customers that are using tape backup? It's pretty easy to make the switch from online backup to tape. And it's pretty easy to convince users that we need to make a switch from tape to online backup. It's more reliable and it's off-site. Being off-site is absolutely key. If you have experienced a disaster, like say a fire or accidental data loss on your location, you'll be safe off-site somewhere else, and that's what online backup does for you. It's really the power of creating complete business continuities within online backup. So what are SMBs looking for in online backup? You'll see that mostly what we talk about in this presentation is SOS Server Save, which is our total business backup solution. And we do call it that because it really is a complete end-to-end solution. It backs up workstations, so laptops and PCs, servers, and mobile devices, all with one system and all at one price for you. In the data that's been presented from various surveys by companies like IDC and Forrester and Gartner, it's very clear that this is what SMBs want in an online backup solution. They want to know that it's secure, and they want to know that it's complete. And they love getting it delivered to them from managed service providers because then they have a personal relationship with this individual like you. I would like to pause here and see if there are any questions. We do love this to be a very interactive webinar, so please feel free to type in the questions box that some of you already have to let me know that you can hear and see the presentation. And also, it's a great time to mention that you do have to ask a question in order to be entered for the Kindle drawing. So please do ask away. We are here for you. We are here to get all of your questions answered.
As we get into the program, we look at what SOS is doing, particularly to make the transition to the managed online backup market simpler and faster. As speed to market, of course, is always important when you're talking about tech services. You know, 2007 to 2009, it was software as a service, which was a big item. Now it's moved from software as a service, which is what we provide to you, to the biggest growth in the market is the managed service market, what you can do for your customers. The most natural move, the natural first step into that market is managed online backup. Everyone needs a backup solution. So when you start positioning a package of services to your customers, it becomes that much easier to really do the things you know you need to do. SOS has made it very simple in offering what we call a 360-degree partner program. Not only are we giving you the service, which is the easy part, but we're giving you the business tools to get out to market. So we offer what is quite unique in a web integration package that has 6 different tools that we've integrated into this one web app that allows you to operate as a functioning business on the wider web. Not only that, but we have a partner resource center, which has email templates that you can use to use with the email tool that's built into the web package, so you can mass email prospects with different campaigns. If you want to target specific markets and do various campaigns, legal, accounting, medical, etc. And then you can use the same tool to do subscription mailers. So when you start getting customers signed up, then you can touch them regularly on a monthly basis, make sure things are okay, and really keep that relationship alive. So our focus on the partnership program is really bar none in the market when we talk about all the tools you're getting.
Thanks, Eric. I'd like to mention on this slide, we do state that we have integrated billing with eWay. We also have integrated billing with Authorize.net and PayPal. This package really is useful around the world, and all the payment gateways work with us. And when you are processing payment through the website template, which Derek will show you a little bit later, how exactly that works and what it looks like, the money never passes through our hands. It is completely yours. This is a wholesale program. So you do purchase gigs and server licenses on a wholesale basis. But whenever you sell anything passively through your web integration package, it is your money. It never touches us. Which again is a really cool point about this package. It enables you to do passive sales. So while you're off doing other work, making the most of your time, you can be selling online backup on your own website. So you guys have probably looked at other competitive partner programs. We've got some information about Intronis, Doyen, Seeger, and XD Backup here on the screen in front of us. And you can see that SOS really shines in our flexibility, as well as just the fact that we have online sales capability. We also do not require a hardware purchase. You'll see the pricing later on in the presentation. We'll look at what kind of margin you can make on average, and you'll see that you can pay on a monthly basis. It's kind of like a phone bill. It's very, very simple, very easy, very easy to fit into your business, and easy to create recurring revenue. We give you the flexibility to have rebranded sales materials. You can update them, put your logo in there, put your company name in there. We give you a rebranded client. We give you rebranded emails. You can update all those things. A lot of you often have questions about where data centers are located. We have data centers in the UK, US, Canada, Australia, India, Ukraine, and soon to be South Africa. In the US and Canada, our data centers are located in Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, and Toronto. They're all military-grade data centers, Tier 3, Tier 4, that have all of the same infrastructure and security capabilities. They truly are military-grade, and data is absolutely safe there. Our partner program also includes Exchange backup, SQL backup, and Windows backup. So what if you don't want to do those things? What if you just want standard file and folder backup within your partner program? We can do that for you too. Not a problem. So what do you get after you sign up to be an SOS partner? What are the things that we give you to help you build your business? Because you aren't just signing up for us just to get some gigs, right? You're signing up with us because we can help you build your business. We give you the Partner Concierge Program. This is our specific support program just for our partners to help you with technical and administrative questions. We have the Partner Resource Center, which gives you access to all of these rebrandable materials that we've talked about, like presentations, collateral, email templates. We offer business development assistance. We have a guy on staff here named Mike Zarudny, who's a very helpful fellow, and he will help you with marketing plans, basic strategic development, and pitching online backup to businesses and consumers. We offer a disaster recovery template. This is a great way to get into small to medium-sized businesses by offering them a disaster recovery template, and you can customize all of it for you and for your business. So what's in the SOS Online Backup product suite? If you sign up for the SOS ServerSafe Partner Program, that means that we really need to start on the right-hand side of the screen. We back up your system data. This is all of your operating systems. This is your application data. This is SQL servers, Exchange servers, SharePoint servers. So when you're walking into a business that has maybe 50 employees, they probably have some servers, and they probably want to do bare metal backup to the cloud of these servers so that you can restore them. You can restore them completely and get businesses back up and running. You will be able to back up file data. So this is all images, videos, emails, documents. You can back those all up to the cloud and retrieve them simply with our software. We also back up mobile devices, in particular iPhone and Android, and we're definitely working very hard on this right now, and we will be producing a generic, so non-SOS branded Android client in the very near future, within the next few weeks. We also back up Macs. This is a new addition to the SOS 360-degree partner program. We used to be strictly PC, but we do back up Macs now. I'd like to pause for a second and still make sure that everyone can hear and see me. It looks like the screen is working correctly, and definitely encourage everyone to ask questions. I want to make sure that we're talking about things that are meaningful to you. And with that, we'll go ahead and keep going. So what's in SOS ServerSafe? I mentioned earlier that SOS ServerSafe really is the key to backing up entire businesses, because you want to do it from one system. You don't want to have 3 or 4 different systems to back up a business. You want to use one. And businesses want that too. That's why we created this program. With SOS ServerSafe, you will be able to recover mail, messages, contacts, and more from inboxes. That's part of our Exchange Backup and Granular Recovery program. You'll be able to do bare metal backup to the cloud of Exchange servers, Windows servers, SQL servers, SharePoint servers, and file servers. And our tool called Online Backup and Recovery Manager sends these bare metal images to the cloud. So if you just create a bare metal image, that's fine, right? But you don't necessarily want to store it on the ground. You want to put it up in the cloud where we know that it's safe. Workstation backup lets you back up laptops, desktops, file servers, and files and folders. And then also included is the web integration package. This is what gives you integrated billing management, allows you to send emails to your customers, allows you to manage all of your accounts. You can cancel, edit, update all of your accounts. Derek will show you more about this later. It's a very cool part of the program. And of course, mobile. We do offer applications to back up iPhones and Androids. So how's the SOS 360-degree Partner Program offering software that's different than anything else? SOS Server Save backs up literally everything. I know I've mentioned this a few times. I probably sound like a broken record, but it's really important. SOS Server Save does file and folder backup as well as server backup. We also offer mobile access. We offer unlimited file versioning. This is an often overlooked feature that is super important to businesses, particularly law firms and finance companies. They often need to keep data for up to 7 years. And Carbonite and Mozy and guys like that just can't do that. They just don't have that capability. And SOS can. SOS can literally keep versions of data for as long as you ever need. It truly is unlimited. Licensing by laptop or by PC is also very important. This program does not rope you into unexpected licensing costs by PC. It is truly unlimited PC backup. So if SOS Server Save is so different from Carbonite and Mozy, who is it more similar to that you may have heard of? Zenith and Intronus and eVault are a few, and SOS Server Save really shines in mobility and, like I was just talking about, license usage for laptops and PCs, security, and transactionally consistent backups. Does everyone know what transactionally consistent bare metal images are? If you have customers with SQL servers or other kinds of database servers, then it's super important. What that means is that when those two databases may be talking to each other or they may be talking to other databases or other servers, transactionally consistent backup waits to make sure that they're done talking to each other before it takes a bare metal image. If it does it while they're talking to each other, while data is being transferred, they may miss something. That's very important for your customers that have databases that they need to back up and protect.
And it's funny to see as we look at who we used to compete primarily against and who we're competing against now. We literally as early as last fall were telling people openly, go to Zenith, go to Intronus for your bare metal backup strategies. Backup solutions in a managed backup package includes multiple strategies in backup and recovery. Again, disaster recovery or risk management is all about a boot and suspenders approach to the whole situation. Don't get stuck with a single point of failure. So we used to tell people, go to Zenith, go to Intronus, all those other companies, Dado, and they had to purchase $1,000, $2,000 worth of hardware wholesale out the door just to talk about a backup solution. So when we added this strategy to our own suite of services, it was dramatic in seeing the relief from all of our existing partners. Finally, I'm so glad you've added this. Now I only have one business, SOS, that I have to go to for all of my backup needs. And not only that, but the system is more robust. It's simpler as far as you don't have to worry about a granular recovery versus simple recovery for Exchange. It's just part of the single license package you have. Now that you have bare metal backup with SOS, it's online, offsite, at a file and folder, or at a bare metal image level. So it's just again, a solution, a full solution, as Shaylin put it.
Thanks, Derek. Data centers and infrastructure are obviously very important when we're talking about online backup because you want to know that the place that you're putting your data and where you're putting your customers' data is safe and secure. And we are here to guarantee you that it is. We have a total of 11 global points of presence. We back up to military-grade data centers in London, Toronto, Los Angeles, Houston, Dallas, Melbourne, Kiev, and Chennai. So if you're in North America, let's say that you're in Canada and you're backing up a bank, and you want to make sure that that bank keeps its data in Canada. That's okay. Just let us know, and we can do that. We can make sure that that data only goes to the Toronto data center. All data centers are secured with 24/7 watch, video surveillance, biometric credential requirements, backup generators. So usually these backup generators have about 3 days worth of diesel fuel. Temperature and humidity controls. So we always don't want those servers getting too hot. So the data centers that we employ do keep them nice and cool. So how do you start your own backup business? How many of you currently have an IT business and you're looking to just add online backup into it? Definitely let us know. It's very interesting to us, and it can help how we tailor this conversation.
And more specifically, how many of you have a set of package services where it's a recurring revenue model versus only billing for hours worked? So, and if you could put a percentage of the mixture you have between strictly hours worked customers versus a package of services customer, that'd be great. So managed services versus break fix is what we're looking for.
Yep, definitely. So we're here to help you get started. We're not here just to sell you some gigs. Again, we're definitely here to help you get started. So how can you get started? Number one, analyze your customer base. You might ask yourself these questions. As a marketer, I ask myself questions like this all the time. Are my customers businesses or residential users? That'll change what you offer them. Do they know what backup is? They probably do, but if they don't, that'll change how you approach them. What do they need to back up? Do they have laptops only, or do they have servers? If they have servers, what kind of servers are they? What other services might you need to provide for them? Do they need a complete business continuity solution? If so, you can do that for them with this service. Step two, do an ROI analysis with an SOS partner specialist. Our partner specialists are here to really help you analyze your business and help you change your business. Because you're adding online backup to your business, that means that you're looking for a recurring revenue model. Online backup is a very sticky service, so once a user locks into it, they're likely to keep using it. We certainly find that to be the experience in our own business, and we expect that you would as well. So with your SOS partner specialist, you will develop a revenue model over the long term. You will see how this recurring revenue model can affect your business over time, and consider different pricing options for your new online backup product. This process takes about 30 to 45 minutes, and any of our partner specialists here can do it. If you could take a minute and just type in the chat and let me know if you don't know who your partner specialist is. Just type "don't know" and let us know.
As that comes in, again, the resources we have for you in business development staff, our regular training sessions, they're going to go through with you how can you formalize a managed solution as far as backup is concerned with the SOS program. That way you can walk into your customer site, and it's not a matter of convincing them what they need, but you just have a checklist of prevention, reaction, all the different services you need in a proper risk management plan, or what the market's now more attractively calling a business continuity plan.
So after you've done the ROI analysis and you've looked at how you can do a business continuity plan, you've looked at the customers that you can sell online backup to, then you sign up. Then you're 3/4 of the way home. But what if you want to sell to more businesses than those that you've already come up with, or more home users than you've already come up with? You can work with our business development specialists on how to pitch online backup. No matter who you're trying to pitch, maybe you're trying to pitch a doctor's office, maybe a CPA firm, our business development manager, Mike Zerudny, will help you come up with how to pitch these things. So he is here to help you grow your business. So once you've signed up and once you've started, step 3, you are not on your own. We are definitely here to help you. So how about pricing? I'm sure everybody is really, really curious about this. Flexible plans are available to help you get your online backup business started. We definitely cater to MSPs who have not started selling online backup yet. So we certainly encourage you to come and talk to us about doing this. We can get you started in the SOS Server Save program for $399 a month. We're routinely running specials, especially on annual plans. So this price can change if you do want to purchase annually. The really cool thing about our pricing structure is that the server licenses in CloudSpace are completely not attached to each other and completely flexible. So while you may sign up for the SOS Server Save 5 plan, You can use your 1 terabyte of cloud space however you like. You can also use your 5 server licenses however you like. You can back up 3 SQL databases and 2 SharePoint databases. We don't care. Does not matter to us. We want you to be able to back up whatever you need to back up. For your terabytes that you get, we don't care if we use that on the servers. We don't care if you use it on laptops. It's totally up to you. The more flexible we allow you to be, the more money you can make. So what else is very cool about this chart is that at the bottom you can see how much monthly margin you can expect to make. We've included a suggested retail price for each server backup, and that includes approximately 200 gigs with it. So if you have server, say 5, and you are selling all 5 of your server licenses, you've got a business that is backing up 5 servers, or you've got a few businesses that between them are backing up 5 servers, you can make about $246 a month. This is in US dollars. This increases with the more you sell. And of course it increases with the more you sell because you're selling more, but your price is also going down. So these are the kinds of numbers that you'll look at when you do an ROI analysis with our partner specialists. And these can be customized for you as well. Don't forget that. Always ask about customization because we're more than happy to comply.
Any questions about how much backup you get versus how many licenses? Is anyone here concerned about the ability to push out a terabyte of backup over your current customer base? What types of opposition do you think you might come with? How would you think about going to the market with your backup?
We definitely like to point out that we do not do throttling with our system, which is definitely a concern of many businesses as well as MSPs, because you may frequently encounter other online backup providers that do throttle, and SOS does not. So even if you are working with a customer that you're concerned has very slow backup speed, not to worry. SOS will be able to maximize that backup speed. Well, if there aren't any questions about pricing, I think now is a good time to move into the demo. I will go ahead and pass controls over to Derek.
Thank you, Shaylin. So I'm going to start by just looking through our partner dashboard so you can see what we offer on this side of things. First, one of the big differentiators we have in our program, again, is this attention to the well-being and the success of our partners. We're not just here to take your money and move on. We really do pay attention to what you need, and this web package is certainly a testament to that. So here we see that it's partnername.onlinebackupcheckout.com. This is live, so you can all come check this out. This is what we'll deploy for you. So it'll be your business name here, your domain name here, just let your partner specialist know what you want to go there. And then you are literally delivered with 10 full pages of box content. So information about your service, basic information about kind of the consumer offering of what we're looking at, business users, which is what primarily you all will be focusing on, YF, security, service coverage, all this good stuff, and of course a sign-up page. So you can come and sign up, and people can purchase backup from you. We'll get back into how you can customize this in a second. So first we come to our dashboard. And this is the hub of the whole system. This is where you're going to come to see how the backups are going. This is where you'll come to create accounts, assign licenses, download the software. It's also where you'll see updates and news. We release updates every 2 weeks or so, new features, new contests, new promotions. So it's good to subscribe to our news feed via RSS or email updates. We have a central management portal. Allows you to put in your email address so you can get a daily snapshot of what all of this backup deployments look like. Here we see a lot of failed backups because we use this for trials. So a lot of these trials are expired, and we just need to come in here and say, let's remove all the records from this account. And we go through and clean this up. I can go through by status. So status is based on a couple of different items. It's based on current activity, so if the backup's running, the software actually checks in with our service every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, it's going to give an update to the server and say, okay, this is what we've accomplished so far. So we've backed up, so many files, which account for so much data out of this much selected. Let's see if we can get one that gives us some more details. So like this one here, the account name SOS Tester DW on Lasso Demo 6, and there's 8.2 gigs of data selected over 426 files. Only 4 files changed, or 2 files changed out of the 426, 424 did not move, and then 2 did change and they uploaded, and the backup took 3 seconds. And that's it. So you have an update that happened earlier this morning, so you see that this is on track. If a backup was currently running, it'd give you an update if, say, a check-in didn't happen or if a backup hasn't run in a few days. So with this system, you get an easy view of, what should you go pay attention to? And again, we're going to be adding a lot more modules here over the next 2, 4, and 6 weeks. You have the ability to change the branding settings in your account. So you change the product name that shows in the software, as well as change the logo that shows up in the software. And so that's all available to you. We'll be adding some more settings over time. Managing licenses is very simple. You just hit assign, type in the account name that you'd like to assign this license to, hit save, and then when you open up the server save application, it'll download the appropriate license information listed here. As you can see that we have licenses, 2 separate licenses, and licenses come in pairs, one for the image backup, and then one for Exchange Granular Recovery. Image backup is just a license key here that you copy and paste, and it's available in the software. And then for Exchange, it's actually an INI file that you would download and save to the machine. And I'll show you that in a minute. So if we go into our partner dashboard or the web integration package and see what kind of functionality we have here when it comes to your web presence. So in this system, we get another snapshot. So even though you're in a separate system, just in case you're here, you can see how much you've provisioned versus we have available. We have a lot of different options here as far as the different modules we've integrated into the system. So those of you who have web development resources and you have your own customer portals, maybe you don't need to use this and you're going to take the SOS partner APIs and integrate it into your own system. This web package is designed for those of you who do not have in-house resources or don't have the time or the money to pay outside resources to come do this for you. So we've integrated the SOS system, which is seen here in the backup users table. So you can come in here, view the details of the account, edit the account information, upgrade, cancel, or reset the password. You can also change the email address assigned to this account. You can also just come in and create an account administratively. So even though we do have a shopping cart available, you don't have to use it for all of your customers. In fact, we expect that the majority of your users will be created by coming here, and then you'll have a smaller percentage that actually come through the customer-facing website. We have a mailer that's built into the system. So you come in and enter your mailer settings, your SMTP settings, where you want to send the email from. Then you can design different HTML emails, design different campaigns, again, market specific or vertical specific. Then you have this nice dashboard that shows you what's been happening with all of the campaigns you've been sending out. So here we have bounce rate, open rate, click-through rate, unsubscribe rate. You can run this report based on a date range, on specific subscription groups or specific campaigns. So you get a lot of flexibility in what you have here. So those of you who don't have a mass email tool, you have one here. Of course, you want to pay attention to the CAN spam logs, and we have a link here so you can familiarize yourself with those. Then, of course, the initial purpose of this whole package was just this integration with different merchant gateways. So Authorize.net, PayPal Pro, eWay. We do have PayPal Standard, but there are a lot of limitations with recurring billing in PayPal Standard, and we don't recommend using this option if you can avoid it. We're also going to be adding Paygate for the South African market in the next couple weeks here. But here it's very simple. Rather than going through a development procedure, you just hit View. You see all the different items you have in here to fill out. So you would just say, for PayPal Pro, for instance, You'd come in, you'd put in your API username and password and signature that you would get from PayPal, and then hit submit, and you're good to go. And then all of a sudden you just come in and you start managing the plans, setting the currency, and you're ready to start making changes. As far as the web content, we have a nice visual editor. Anyone familiar with WordPress or Joomla? Well, with WordPress and Joomla, you have a nice visual editor, so you don't need any true web design experience. Come in here to the article and you hit edit, and let's take a look at what this looks like on the live site. So here it is in the editor, and then here it is live. So you can see it's very simple. You have the table structure. Here you can go to the source if you want to get a little more fancy, if you have a little more experience or more expertise. Also, a recent addition is a CSS editor. The CSS editor allows you to be much more flexible with this whole template. So if you want to put some moving banners in here, really opens up the flexibility based on your expertise in CSS. So if you don't have anyone in-house, we do have a recommended partner that does custom web design, and you can contact us via your partner specialist to get in contact with them. They give all of our partners a great deal, so it's good to know that you have that resource through us as well. Again, end-to-end solution, not just the service, but your business needs as well. And I think that pretty much sums it up for this area. We have some coupon codes that you can use if you want to give out discounts. You can do that. Just a really nice system for leave behinds, making people feel special like you're giving them a good deal.
We have a really good question from Alfredo. He wants to know, what do we say to clients who may ask, what's the difference between going through you rather than going directly to SOS? They get a whole different grade of service through you, my friend. The big difference is that, yeah, well, they can technically get the same product. What they can't get is someone who will come to their place of business and truly offer them a managed service. Like, SOS definitely offers chat and phone support, but it's not the same as having someone come to your business or come to your home and offer you a complete business continuity solution. So for you, you can add a lot of value in that manner. We did talk about some features that are available through our Partner Resource Center, like our email templates, disaster recovery plan, and also retail pricing plans. All those things are there to help you create value within your business. We also have a business development manager named Mike Zarudny, who's available to help you strategically build your business and create value that you can derive in your business that SOS couldn't necessarily. So there is an advantage to your customers to going directly through you rather than SOS, especially if they want a little hand-holding and an actual customized plan for business continuity.
Right. Thanks, Shalyn. It really matters on what your strategy is. Software as a service is what we do, and software as a service basically means we keep the service up to date and we don't charge you for updates. That's software as a service. Managed services is where the actual businesses are leaning. So that's where you should be going. If you're dealing with more of a mass campaign over a large consumer base, then that's completely different, and we do have a lot of partners who do that. The majority of our partners are in that managed service block. Do you have a retail shop? What kind of positioning do you have with this type of a service? And as that comes in, I'm going to get started with the demo. So here I opened up our Service Aid application. So here we have online backup and recovery, which is the bread and butter of our program. This is the application that's going to get data offsite and recover data from the SOS secure data centers. We have Bare Metal Image Creator. This is what's going to do your image-based backup and recovery. Then we have Exchange Granular Recovery, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's for Exchange recovery, whether at a full mailbox level or a full database store, or down to the message level, or even specific items like calendars, contacts, things of that nature, and you really see the power in that. So to start, I'm just going to go in order of how you would typically set up these services in an environment. So the first, I'm going to bring up actually an article that will give us a nice reference to how this gets set up in your environment. And while I do that, there's another question. Do you monitor how many partners you put into an area? Yes, but it's not something we publish. So it's an open market.
Yeah, we certainly have more partners in North America than we do anywhere else in the world, but specifically other than that, no, we don't publish it.
All right, so if you see here, I'm at our new support site, so you see options for home, business, and partner. So you hit your partner help desk. We just moved our partner support staff primarily to here in Los Angeles. So Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. Pacific, you'll get a staff here in our LA office. So we're really excited about that, and we're actually hiring. We just hired another couple of reps, and we're looking at really expanding the team out of here in LA for our partner program. So here I'm going to go to our knowledge base. So here we visit our knowledge base here in KB. I'm going to do a quick search for staging machine. See, we have a pretty good happiness. So we just launched with Zendesk. So please come on, register for the Zendesk account, and this will give you a nice way to track existing tickets, historical tickets if you've had any in the past, and also participate in our forums. So this article, Do I Need a Staging Server?, outlines what we recommend as far as how you position SOS and its various services in your environment. So Image Creator. Image Creator is a server-based strategy of backup. You're going to take a full image of a specific volume on one of your systems, and you're going to have that available in case of a major disaster. You need to recover that immediately. We recommend installing that directly on the server, of course, so your web server, file server, mail server, database server, e-commerce server, for those of you who are awesome and have that PCI compliance in-house. You're going to take Image Creator and you're going to run a scheduled backup system for image-based backups of the volumes you want to a staging machine. The staging machine is somewhere in your local network. The reason we recommend that you go to the staging machine is really two parts. One, it's your local backup strategy. Your local backup is not replaced by online backup. They're complements. They're friends. They work together. That's what gives you a full solution. Just having one way of backup and one way of recovery is by no means doing your customers a good service. So the staging machine does that, your local backup, and also it gives you a really nice point of recovery. So we went out and spent, in this office, something cheap like $700 for just an extra box, load up with a bunch of RAM, a lot of processing speed. That way we can mount it, or we can split it into multiple VMs. If we need to do things like PMUs, which we can talk about more in our tech admin trainings we run every week for our partners. If we need to get the initial backups off-site faster, we have ways that you can do that. You don't have to come through SOS. If we need to recover to a new location, say our web server dies and we have the image here, then we split this into a VM and load it up here. Then you have the web server running temporarily from your staging machine. It's just a good strategy to have on site. Then, to get those images off-site, you install the online backup and recovery manager on your staging machine, and from there, you process the files off-site. Another reason is because it's going to save your production resources. You don't want to be compressing and encrypting data on your web server and slowing down traffic or performance there. So the idea is protect your production resources by having this staging machine. For file and folder backup, you would install it directly on the machine. So workstations and laptops, go ahead and install online backup and recovery directly on those machines and run them off-site. Even from your file server, you would run directly off-site with a file and folder solution. And of course, the mobile application is what it is. iOS, back up pictures and contacts. With Droid, you can back up the entire folder structure, so it's a lot more open, of course, as those of you who are familiar. With that, any questions before I get back into the actual software?
We do have a follow-up question from Dave. Dave says, I'm concerned about other SOS providers in the same geographic area. Will I be competing with someone next door to me? I think that generally depends on how dense your area is and just how many other IT consultants and managed service providers there are in your area. If you're in like Chicago or New York or someplace like that is just in general a dense area, of course it's more likely. But that being said, we do have business development assistants to help you create competitive advantages within your business. you can always do something different and create a different angle. That's what business development and marketing is all about. So we're here to help you with that.
Yeah. And on top of that, Dave, you're entering at a great time. I mean, as Shaylin was pointing out earlier, the IDC is expecting a tripling of expenditure towards this type of service in the SMB market over the next few years. And that doesn't even include the cost of the management behind it. So there's business to go around because we're entering at a really good point right now. I would say maybe in 6 months, a little more concern to the competition that's already in place. But right now, you're getting a pretty good jump on the market. You're not super early, but you're not late. This is a great time to get on board.
Yeah.
So here we have our image creator launched. So we have our basic wizard, the backup, restore, and explore backup options. We have our Windows Volume Manager. Don't typically need to come into this because it's all done through the wizard. Backup jobs, if you have any created, you could edit the contents. I just deleted the backup job so I can show you how to create the same. So you can run it, pause it, cancel it, edit, show the details, whatever you want to do. Destination Manager, same thing as the Windows Volume Manager. You do that through the wizard. Backup history, real plain English backup logs. What's happened with this? So those of you using RMM software, you can have that monitor this. It's really a pretty flexible system. Very simple to see what's going on. To the wizard, let's create a backup job. So first it's going to ask me, what volumes do you want to create a backup for? I could select multiple volumes, but it's recommended to really make sure that you are being more specific, especially when we're going off-site. If you're just doing a local backup solution and it's image-based backup, then sure, no problem. I just select everything here. But when you're going off-site, it's different because you have different limitations when it comes to data transfer and your access to that information. So you have to make sure that you're being a little more specific in what your goal is of getting the data off-site and also what your expectation would be of getting it back on-site. So Exchange, which are a humble 5 gig Exchange server, we're going to select that. Now it's going to ask me, where do you want to run this backup? This is where I would select that staging machine. So I get the network location and my local network. I define the path to the staging machine. For this purpose, I'm just going to hit our virtual drive F. And we're just going to go to that, hit next. And now it comes to a schedule. Weekly, this is a typical image-based or bare metal or disaster recovery, whatever terms you want to use. This is your typical strategy for this type of backup locally. This means we're going to run a full backup on the weekend, and then throughout the week we're going to run incremental backups, and then we're going to run a full. You would set a retention policy to remove the previous incrementals after the full backup is run the following week. You can set a retention policy to keep them for up to 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever you want. This is really a historical need to consolidate because of tape drive space. Tapes are expensive, tape management and organization is even more expensive and puts you up to more risk as far as things that could go wrong, more human involvement. So now that tapes are hopefully no longer a part of most of your solutions or are quickly dying out as the contracts run out or as the tapes die themselves, you don't have to manage your local drive space like this. And this also doesn't bode well for an online solution. This would mean you'd have to re-upload a ton of data every week. A lot of environments wouldn't even have the bandwidth or the resources to get that amount of data off every week. So it would, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks. So we do what we call a continuous incremental schedule. The reason we can do this is, one, the recovery steps don't change if you have 1,000 incrementals versus 1 incremental. You just choose the one you want to recover to. You can either quick mount that just in Windows Explorer, or going through this wizard, you could select which incremental you'd like to recover to, select the drive letter, and there you go. So this is going to run a full backup first, and then it's going to run incremental backups whenever you want it to. Right now it's set to run every 60 minutes to use VSS. So when we have a volume that has a SQL database or Exchange database on it or a SharePoint, whatever it is, VSS is going to go in there and make sure that we get a transactionally consistent backup. Again, that's just a negotiation with the server or with the database saying, hey database, are you running anything? Because I need to take a quick snapshot of what you got going on. The database comes back and says, hold on just a second, I'll finish up. There's a quick pause, snapshot happens, no data is lost, and the database continues thereafter. That's a transactionally consistent backup. That's important to note because a lot of the reason you will ask, can this back up while the database is open, is this a transactionally consistent backup? That's what you're asking. So for us, it's yes. For a lot of people, it's a crash consistent backup. Sure, they can back it up while it's open, but you're going to lose whatever transactions in process. Because transactions come in pairs, and if you take a snapshot right in the middle of that pair, then you don't have a record of it. So that's the way that works out. So continuous incremental. So you'd only run a full maybe every quarter, every 6 months, every year maybe, and that's when you would re-upload that full image. And again, that depends on what you're doing. For your web servers, you can do a little more frequently because they're going to be smaller. For your Exchange servers, you're probably not going to want to do that too frequently because it's going to be very large. That would be more of a local strategy that you would employ versus an online. And again, we go through these types of strategies in greater depth every Wednesday morning for our partners when we do a deep dive tech admin training with myself and also our level 3 support staff. Compression method, encryption as well. So those of you who deal with healthcare records, it's required that your local backups are encrypted at 128-bit AES. So here we go right there. For those of you who have some old NAS90 databases or something that doesn't have DSS writer enabled, so you still can't get that transactionally consistent backup, you can write a little batch script and do a pre-snapshot run, stop the database, post-snapshot, restart the database, and then you'll be fine. Enable self-healing is something that by default is enabled. Also, you don't have to enable any type of granular recovery option when you're doing your backups. So those of you familiar with Backup Exec, even if you buy the granular recovery add-on, which is an add-on to the Exchange backup add-on, you have to first enable your backup to be compatible with that. This doesn't require that type of a setting. It's just going to be compatible at whatever level. For online backup strategies, we recommend you split the image into smaller chunks just because it makes a lot more sense of the way things are processed. Again, the recovery method is not any faster or shorter with less incrementals. So you have the same amount of steps. Select the incremental you want, hit go. It's going to mount the virtual drive, and then you'll be good to go. So we recommend splitting it into 10 gig chunks. So here we have our summary of what we've selected. We're taking the E drive to the F drive. We're doing a standard compression method, no encryption. Maximum output file size doesn't matter. It's going to do whatever's there. We didn't set any advanced options. We hit finish, and now we have a backup job. And that's our local backup. Now we have now we want to take this data off-site. So we open up Online Backup and Recovery Manager. Here we have our wizard. We have some more advanced options that we can go through so you can manage the caching system, which is important to understand. And if you need more details, you can check out our knowledge base about the cache. That's how we do our Delta level backups. To select the online backup, we hit Set Up Online Backup. And it's going to first come to this scanner. We can select Scan All Folders, just scan my personal, or don't scan at all. We can edit what it's scanning as well, so we can remove or add specific folders or directories. And then you can also push the specific scan settings out with an MSI. So if you want to make this a software policy across a network, you can do that as well.
Alfredo wants to know if this webinar will be recorded for future viewing. Yes. You'll also receive an email with it tomorrow. It'll be live on our website tomorrow or in a couple days. And so while we're waiting for this to run, are there any other questions about the software? Are there any other business questions that I can answer? I know that this demo and this presentation is pretty software heavy, and you may have questions about business building just like Dave did. Please feel free to ask away. We're more than happy to help give any clarification that we can.
Thanks. So then here we see we have the custom options to add different directories. We can go through and see what we have available. Get network paths if we want. I'm going to select Do Not Scan and go to Next. Then we get our Windows Tree View. Regardless of what the option you select previously, you end up in the Windows Tree View. Here you can This is actually just released this morning. It's being able to add a UNC path, so you can add your network address here. You can browse through that and see what's available, connect using credentials, or set the credentials for that network path. So that's a really nice piece of flexibility that we give you again. Our goal is to allow you to back up data that's important. So not having limitations as far as the total bandwidth you can use per day, no limitation on where you can pull data. As long as you have read-write permissions to that directory, you're good to go. We go here, and the F drive is where I was running backups. So I would say, okay, let's go ahead and run the backups from this location. I want to get all these images and all the incrementals off-site. We have the calculator down here. How much data have I selected versus how big is my account? Hit next. Now we're on a scheduling options page. So backup at the end of the wizard. I'm going to check this. It's for demo purposes. Backup automatically. This is for the task scheduler. So if we come to the Start menu, go to the Task Scheduler, we'll actually see the backup job run through this section. So you have multiple triggers defined. So if you want to get a little more advanced in the Windows Task Scheduler settings, you can do that. Backup a Windows user is not logged on. This is absolutely critical if you have people on a domain environment. So Windows domain environment, enter your Windows domain credentials. That way the backup will run when they're not at the office and they're logged out. The frequency, if it's workstations or laptops, I would say do it every couple of hours. No reason not to. It's going to be very quick. You can estimate about a 7.5 gig backup set per user in your typical business environment. It's somewhere between 5 and 10. Marketing guys up there around 20 or 30 usually because they have more graphics and videos and all that good stuff. But the user backup set on an incremental basis, on a daily basis, changes not so much, and you're going to see incremental backups be very quick, somewhere under 10-15 minutes usually. So you run every couple of hours. That way you make sure that your restore point objective is as quick as possible. So basically, as soon as there's a network available, whatever's on that machine is protected. For your servers, you're typically going to do a daily backup routine. You want to wait for the incrementals to finish up running that day, then you run the backup after those incrementals run. Email reports. You can send one or to multiple email addresses to email reports for people who don't have access to the admin dashboard. So if you have an on-site technician who wants more details as far as what's happened, you can enter their email address here. Separate with commas, admin2@admin.com. And then they're all going to get emails that say how many files were processed, how many files were backed up, how many files didn't back up, and if there are any errors, it'll give you the first 20 lines of files and what their errors are. So now we have the backup going. Let's say we want to restore that information. If we go to an online restore, it's going to refresh our backup set. The first time you refresh, it could take a little time, and then as it's built this file list, we keep this information in a local database file, which makes it quicker every time you run it. So what we're going to have here is in the calendar view, a bold date next to each day that we have a backup we can recover to. I can go as far back in time as I've been running backups. So I can go back, my personal account, go back to 2008. This account was created this last January, so we could go back to January or February to see when this data was recovered. Or you can just say the most recent. Most common is just to take the most recent backup set, and then you'll see a file drop-down for the different versions in that system. Any questions about what we've gone through so far as this refreshes?
I know we mentioned it a little bit at the end, but I just want to let you guys know that we do have a Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn page now available for SOS Partners, so you can talk to us, you can ask us questions. The Twitter is twitter.com/SOSPartners, where you can tweet at SOS Partners. Our Business Development Director, Stephen Gold, is always all over those things and is eager and happy to talk to you guys and answer your questions. We've got a question from Alfredo. How do we pitch the backup service to very small clients, 2 to 5 employees, when there are so many free alternatives to backup in the cloud? Well, my friend, because free alternatives are not good. That is my very, very, very quick answer. So the free alternatives come with a lot of limitations. So number one, when you say free alternatives, you might also be talking about syncing solutions. Sync is not backup. Sync is completely reliant upon humans to go and literally put items, put folders, folders or put files into the cloud and doesn't do it automatically. Humans aren't good at remembering to do things, especially humans that are busy with other work. They're in a business, they got other things to do other than remember to back up. So that's why real true online backup, not sync solutions, are ideal for this purpose of actual data protection and preparing for data recovery in the event of disaster, because they can be scheduled. So you want that. Additionally, I don't think businesses would be very interested in having an online backup solution that would delete their data after like 30 or 45 days. And I know that's a really snide way of putting it, but it's very true. SOS keeps data for an unlimited period of time, keeps unlimited versions of files. So businesses want that. If businesses are backing up, they want to be able to get back to their data at any point in time. They don't want to go, oh, well, you know, I forgot to do a backup maybe last month because I couldn't schedule it because I was using a solution that I didn't schedule. Therefore, I don't have any data to recover because I've just waited too long and my system didn't schedule it and it deleted my last backup, which was 46 days ago. So with SOS, that will never happen. Like what Derek's showing you right now is what date you can recover from, and he'll be able to show you. I'm not sure when we started using this particular account, but yeah, you can go back to February 2012 with this particular client. This is a huge feature for businesses.
Yeah, and really it's just the difference of knowing, you know, storage and backup are very different. That's why we have what we talked about in our experimental cloud product suite of backing up Facebook, Twitter, Google Apps, Google Documents, really looking into backing up these cloud applications that are becoming more and more regular, because cloud storage does not mean it's backed up. Just because it's in the quote-unquote cloud doesn't mean it's secure. It's on somebody's hardware somewhere. And when you're talking about these mass storage solutions like Google, Facebook, Twitter, they're not developing their infrastructure around a secure backup style of network. They're really just trying to get the lowest dollar value they can. You know, how can we get it as cheap as possible? And that's inherently not what we're going to be doing. So again, we do the backup to multiple data centers. It's redundant, and we have our own NOC services on ready to go. It's really a difference in security. So here we saw that, and also this is about 120 gig backup, 120 gigabytes, and this is the first time I logged into this machine. We just cleared it all out for this demo. And see that it refreshed in just a couple of minutes. Here I went back to February 1st of this year, and we have this number of machines listed. If I go back and say, let's go see what today looks like, we can see we've added a whole list of different machines, even the Mac Mini, as we just released our Mac this last month. We have a bunch of different machines here listed. So we have Lasso Demo, which is what we're backing into now. I have the F drive, and if I click on this drive letter, I'll see I can arrange by file name, by date. I can see the different items that are backing up. So here I have backup job 8. So let's say I want to recover backup job 8. I can scroll down, and we see backup job 14, and I would check all the boxes for the backup job I want to recover. Okay, we do this, and I do that for all the incrementals. I hit next. And then we tell it where we want to recover this information. Here's your summary. We can do a new location. You can include the original file path, which is helpful for recovering full folders. But if you're just recovering a single file, you typically wouldn't do that. I'm going to cancel this just for the sake of time and show you, okay, let's assume we recovered back to drive F. So I go to my computer. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong drive. So I go to drive F, say this is where we backed it up, so I have this incremental file, and say I just want to recover backup job 1, incremental 2. I right click and hit quick mount. This is all in Windows Explorer. You didn't have to open any software. Then here we go. You see drive H was created just now and mounted, and now it loads us into drive H. This is our exchange information that we have available. Very simple and easy to do. We could also go through the wizard. So let's say we don't need to do that, or you're not quite sure how many incrementals are there. If I go back to the wizard and say let's explore backups. pick this backup job, hit open. It's going to give us some more information. I see actually I do have more incrementals. So this is the 49 incrementals for this particular backup job. Hit next. Ask me which parameter I want. Some other options for read-only or not. Hit next. Again, the intelligent file chain doesn't change our steps at all. We hit finish. And now it's going to recover this entire file chain. There we go. Very simple. So now let's go to Exchange Granular Recovery. So I open up this application now. So it's going to ask me for the source. So, where's your EDB file is what it's asking. So I'll go back, open up the I, mailbox, here's the EDB file, Exchange database. It's going to automatically select the transaction log location. You can change that if you need to. Temporary file path, really not that big of a deal, usually less than 500 megs for a big temporary file. We hit next. It's going to load up the information that it sees from this program. So now it's going to ask me, okay, what do you want to do with this data? Do you want to select a target PST file, which is more of a digital discovery, electronic discovery type of thing? You wouldn't typically do that. Or let's say you wanted to merge an older employee's, like an ex-employee's mail account with a new employee's mail account. You can do it this way as well. But commonly, we're just going to say, okay, let's just target the entire Exchange server. So we have all the mailboxes set up, the server name, Golasso demo. And this is going to validate based on the Windows user I'm logged in as. So my authentication failed here. So looks like we have this. Let me see if I can open this up. Typo. All right, so the settings were changed on us for a little bit there. All right, so let me show you the search while we get this up and running. So let's say we have the source file. What can we do to search for any information here? So we have, let's say we have an attachment. Someone comes to the office and says, hey, we need to look for this attachment that had management guide in it. How can we do that? Well, we select, let's search an attachment file name. So we'll search for words management. And we can browse to the specific user. The user 1 comes in and needs to find this email, and we say, okay, that's great, let's find. And it pulls up these emails. Really fast search, right? Well, are we sure how can we be sure which one it is? There's all these different emails. Well, let's preview it. For you backup exec users, you know that this is something of beauty, and you've been hoping and waiting that they would come out with it, but they haven't, but we have it. So here it is. You have the email, you have the attachment, you confirm with the user, yes, that's the one you want. And then, of course, upon a successful connection with your target Exchange mailbox, you would just drag and drop this in there. Or you can shift select all of them and drag and drop. Well, let's say, I want to know who saw this attachment. Who has this attachment? So I find now, then I get a whole big list across every mailbox. And I can see all the users who are here. I can save this report and export that for whatever purpose, just to see, how these documents are distributed. So really, really simple. We could also drag and drop the whole source onto a new destination drive, so dissimilar hardware. We could take this whole user and drag and drop them onto the new one to get them up to date. Very simple, very powerful. All right. Alfred has a good question. And any questions about what we've gone through with EGR as I answer this? The question is, in a time in this country where there is a media alert about government bodies demanding requesting information from private companies, what can we expect from SOS about privacy concerns with client data? financials, employee records, personal records, etc. Well, it really depends on a lot of variables. One, are you a U.S.-based company? You know, what government is going after you? But really, we have the data secured at a number of locations. We're held more to an international law standard, both being an Australian-based firm, as well as having a global presence. So it really depends what government you're talking about. Shailen has a little more information about that.
Yeah, I think that you're probably alluding to the Patriot Act, which is a question that we do get from customers and partners around the world. Basically, it's extremely rare. So the instances that you hear about of the government, FBI in particular, requesting data from private companies get so much media attention because they're extremely rare. The FBI has to request a special approval from, I believe, the judiciary branch of the government to do this kind of data extraction. And for example, in 2010, only 90 of them actually occurred. The reason that they don't happen very often is because the FBI catches a lot of flack for it, and you hear about that, which is why you're asking the question. It's something that you've heard about. So I'm just trying to reassure you that it is extremely rare. We also encrypt data at 3 different points throughout the process. Our data centers are also military grade, so they're under 24/7 watch, they're under biometric security. You never have to worry about anybody sneaking in there and taking a server or taking any of your data physically or even digitally. SOS employees don't even have access to any of that stuff. So hopefully that answers your question. And we're also compliant with PCI, HIPAA, Sarbanes, all those U.S. government requirements, and also U.S. EU Safe Harbor. Hopefully that helps.
Any questions about what we've gone through today, what Shailen has gone through, about the program, the market? Really, we want to push you to our partner specialists at this point, and they're going to make sure that, one, you're a good fit for the program. You know, it's not any interest to us to misplace people. Our partner specialist is going to go through with you, look at your business model, your customers, how you currently position services to your customers, if that could change if you're moving into managed services, and get a good plan together of, you know, what does it look like as a partner with SOS? Are you going to make money? If so, how much? And they're really going to look at the specific program that would best fit you. You know, we really want to make sure that your return on getting into this program is as best as possible. Of course, this isn't about charity. So any questions? You can contact us directly, 310-878-2626, or at our toll-free line,
which is
877-896-3611.
So if anyone else does not know who their partner specialist is, now's a great time to let us know. We've got a full staff on board to start your ROI analysis with you and answer any other questions that you have about the partner program. But right here, you've got the Director of Marketing, myself. You've got Derek, our Partner Product Manager, whom you'll get to know very well. So please feel free to ask questions. Go ahead and ask the tough questions like Alfredo's not afraid to do. We love that. So we'll hang on here for 30 seconds or so, and if we've got some questions, we'll definitely answer them. And definitely go on to our Twitter. Check it out. It's twitter.com/SOSpartners. Stephen Gold is manning that 24/7. I swear he never sleeps because he's always tweeting.
Love it.
Always, always tweeting. And check out our LinkedIn and our Facebook group as well and join the conversation. Okay, looks like we don't have any more questions, so we thank you very much for your attendance, your participation, and your attention today, and we look forward to seeing you on board.
Thanks.